So this is Super Duper Metroid, which is released in like 2021 by Metaquarius and Daltone, who is in chat right now. And we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this actually starts out with a really cool gunship minigame that's custom to this hack, and it kind of looks like it doesn't affect the run in terms of time at all, but there's actually kind of an Easter egg where if you don't take any hits from the asteroids and you don't fire any shots, you actually get taken to an alternate landing site where the pirate ship is. This is 20 seconds closer to where bombs is. This is kind of RNG. Okay, I just got hit. It's a lot harder than it looks. It's RNG dependent. It's hard to tell where the asteroids, how far away they are with the Mode 7, but
so why are you playing Star Fox and why are you already on Venom?
Okay, so this hack is made from Project Base, and if you're not familiar with what Project Base is, it's basically a template hack that heavily modifies the game engine to have smoother mechanics and faster animations and transitions and stuff. It just makes the game a whole lot faster. It's got stuff like respin and speed keep built into it, and pretty crazy speed booster mechanics.
Are you playing with a Wii Pro controller still?
Yes, I am.
Only you can make that sound like a mechanical keyboard.
Yeah, it's kind of... I think most people probably aren't used to this clicky clacky, but it's a thing on my stream.
Oh, wait. You know what? I was hella confused just now because I played this a couple of days ago on the stream. Not as good as you, mind you. Obviously, that goes without saying, but that missile tank you just got, I'm like, I thought that was on the left, but I was playing in mirror mode because that game actually has mirror mode, just like in Mario Kart, really.
Yeah,
which is
that's the thing. Okay, so Project Base, the latest version of it, 0.8, is actually very customizable. And we're going to do like an RPG style menu to change some of the things. So the things that I changed for beam flicker and screen shake and speed echoes, I disabled all of those to reduce lag.
I would have never thought of that. That's... wow.
I also changed, you can pick between a whole bunch of different HUD options for this. I picked the randomizer HUD so that I know how many missiles I picked up and stuff, because I have a pretty bad track record on this channel for actually getting 100% in my 100% runs. So I need to make sure that doesn't, that actually happens this time.
I was just pulling your leg earlier. You know, I was not actually trying to put you on the spot or anything.
Okay, so we're gonna get the morph ball now. There's actually a few different places that you can get this. The one criteria is just the fastest. But if you play this casually, you're probably gonna get your first one in Brinstar, depending on where you go. There's a lot of different directions you can go at the start of the hack. It's very open. So basically the first thing that we're going to do is actually go straight to Meridia, because there are several different first super packs you can get. 3 of them are intended to be able to be gotten, but we're actually going to get the one that's not intended, because it's the fastest on path. And we want to go to Meridia to get Gravity Suit as soon as possible as well. Because it's a ROM hack, so of course Gravity Suit is there. This spell might actually not lose time, because I have to wait on a Jeemer to damage boost here anyways. You're supposed to have grappled from Norfair before coming here. So we're gonna damage boost across here. This damage boost is really critical. If you don't get it, you have to reset the room. Okay, so now we're gonna get the unintended early super. We're supposed to have a little spring ball check here that you can't hop that ledge without gravity or spring ball, but we're gonna do a bounce ball there to just get right into that gap.
Wow. So basically the speed at which you fell and hit the ground and gave you a bounce underwater is what I'm getting.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's sort of intended, but it's like not supposed to be done by casual play. Okay, so I'm going to take the save here because going to Meridia straight away with like no equipment is very dangerous. You do have to go here to get the gravity suit, but it's most people are going to have like a few more tanks and missiles and stuff. This room in particular is really dangerous, and you have to do it exactly right to dodge this fish. There we go. Okay, we're gonna get an extra super over here, because to get gravity we have to kill Botchoon. And this room's actually really dangerous too. So kill that key hunter. In this hack, the enemies that have multiple parts can like the key hunter has wings that are technically considered a separate enemy, and in this hack, they'll sometimes actually eat your shots. If the key hunter eats your super, like if the key hunter wing eats your super there, then you won't kill the actual key hunter, and it does a lot of damage. So I do fire an extra missile to avoid that, but the extra super you can't really afford as much. There's also a green gate here that's actually going to be open. The thing that controls this gate is the awakening state, which if you don't have the planet technically awake yet, that gate will be open and it'll let you backdoor Ice Beam. The awakening state is controlled by opening an enemy kill door for the first time. That's actually how it works in vanilla with the first Space Pirate room. So we're going to backdoor Ice Beam here. You're supposed to kill Dragon to be able to get this because it's a locked Dragon door from the front. That door that, or this next door that closes behind me, I think, is the Dragon door. Ice Beam isn't really actually the entire reason we do the back door, though. A lot of the reason for the back door is because of it's actually just a much faster path to get to Gravity Suit here. So we're going to be fighting Botchoon for the Gravity Suit, and it's a pretty scary fight because of the low amount of ammo that we have. And that's a really dumb pattern. Okay, got him.
What was your margin of error with the ammo you had on this?
I had like one extra super, and yeah, I had one extra super basically. So you can like farm a little bit from his spit, but he stops shooting spit when he's below half health. So you can like really easily soft lock in Botchoon fights without charge. That's a common thing you have to watch out for in randomizer as well.
There's every Setos in chat that says, as difficult as this looks, you can play with a casual skill level. That's one thing I was saying. This is actually a good ROM hack for someone who has beaten Super Metroid and wants something new, but has never played any ROM hacks because it's that open-ended.
Yeah, it's really crazy open. There is an intended item order. You don't have to do any wall jumping or bomb jumping or anything like that for it. But there are... You can do almost anything if you know tricks. You do have to do Suitless up to Meridia to get it, but you're expected to have grapple and like a bunch of other stuff. High jump. And with project base mechanics, you can actually wall jump underwater, and it's just really like respin. That stuff makes it fairly comfortable compared to a lot of other hacks Suitless Meridias.
Yep, that's one thing that made Suitless for me, because I hate Suitless. Well, I hate it. I'm just not good at it. But the ability to wall jump underwater really made it a lot more enjoyable for me.
Okay, I'm supposed to ignore that part of the brick. I tried to drill that into my brain, and this is like the one time I forgot. Okay, so now we're exiting Meridia pretty much at like the same kind of spot that we got the first supers from. I fell in the water. I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm supposed to fall in the water here.
No one would have known if you didn't say it.
It was an excuse for not knowing where the jumps were, more so than anything else. So the way that this hundo route works, I pretty much stole this route from Mr. Guy Average, who had the record in this before me. He's a great vanilla KPDR runner. And I made some like minor changes to it. But basically, we're going to go to wreck ship to get power bombs. And you're supposed to get to wreck ship using space jump. But and to get space jump, you have to kill Dragon. You have to do this big loop in Meridian without power bombs. But we're just gonna go do it right now because we can. And power bombs are needed to like make sure more of the world is open. This next room is pretty bad to fall in, so I'm gonna try really hard not to do that. Gotta make sure to shoot that gate open as well. This area is kind of complicated to navigate because of the hidden spots from the camera. You have to do some of these jumps blind. The camera like scrolls with you, but if you're trying to get the jumps first try, then they're blind. Okay, so basically we're gonna encounter the first boss that we're gonna have under the project base changes. And so Fantoon only does the first figure 8 and then never again. It just really goes all in your face. It makes it kind of an easier fight in a way, because you don't have to put up with a lot of RNG. There's only the RNG at the start, and you just hammer it with missiles over and over. The big things with project-based Fantoon fights to worry about are damage taken, because it's very hard to avoid damage in this. Gravity Suit makes it pretty comfortable here. And also just like having enough ammo to throw at the boss is more important. You don't get as many opportunities to refill as you do in a vanilla Fantoon fight.
Gotta say, when you use supers though, his enrage phase is much shorter too.
Yeah, so it's like you want to intentionally use them to try and get some ammo, get extra damage in. So there's very little cleanup to do in wreck ship here. We're mostly here for the power bombs. So a neat part of Project Base 0.8 is that we're not going to really see it in the run because I'm not really going to be pausing, but there is a item counter per area that you can turn on that tells you like what types of minor items you still have to collect in the area, like how many missiles you're missing in the area, how many power bombs, etc. So it's handy for 100%ing. So people playing wreck ship and this for the first time will notice that there's like one power bomb missing they can't find anywhere. And there doesn't seem to be very many places to go here, but there's actually another section of wreck ship that's completely separate from this one, and it's called the pirate ship. And we'll get to it later, but it unlocks after you've killed Fantoon, and it's accessed through a part of criteria that most people will have visited already casually, so it can be kind of hard to find.
And but right before you got the power bombs, there was a map in the background that actually it's a hint to where Plasma is later in the run.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
right there, hidden in plain sight.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a hint to where in criteria the pirate ship lands. But we get power bombs from here. Then out of the back, we look through this area again. This section will be familiar. We go through it like 4 or 5 times. This little juncture. So now we're headed towards Norfair to pick up Speed Booster. It's actually in Lower Norfair, and we're going to be dipping Lauren Orpher specifically just for speed booster and basically nothing else. Automorph, please. That was really hard. Okay. Yeah, so I needed to get gravity first because so gravity doesn't actually protect you from heat damage, or it doesn't make you immune to it, but it reduces all damage by 4 times. So we're gonna have quarter damage heat runs with it. And Varia is really buried in this hack. We're not gonna be getting it for a long time, so having gravity is going to be important to be able to do all of these item cleanups during the heat runs.
No, there's a super there?
Yep. That could be one of the first ones you can get. That's one of the hidden ones. Okay, so now we're going to do a bit of the upper Norfair cleanup that's going to be on the way to Speed Booster. But basically, the way that this Hundo route works is basically just rush Speed Booster as fast as possible because it's so good. So there are some new things about Speed Booster, new to Project Base 0.8, that weren't in like previous Project Base versions. So the previous Project Base versions, they all had a shorter speed boost charge, so you only need to like have 2 cycles of Samus's run animation to get a speed boost charge instead of 4 cycles. That's been a thing for a long time, but new to Project Base 0.8 is actually the ability to exit a Shine Spark with a spin jump. I usually call that spark canceling. It basically makes it so you can spark like to and from anywhere with very few limitations. And this is sort of one of the hidden paths into Lower Norfair. We're going to get Speed Booster very shortly. So yeah, the Shine Sparking in this is just absolutely crazy. That wasn't supposed to be in my way. Okay, we're gonna start seeing it in action right now.
That was what, a 2 pump charge, or
Yeah.
added with the
I
shortened
broke the
cycle?
camera. That's fine.
You can really short charge in this.
Yeah. It's not free to get like the really short ones, which we try to do in this run sometimes still, but it's also really easy to misfire a spark in this. Oh my goodness. They made the inputs that work for it a bit looser. But yeah, so you can just... Where did my spark go? Game. So you can just, like, pretty much launch out of your Shrine Spark at any time, and then be in a position to immediately charge another one. Because it still counts as you having speed echoes. Okay, so we have Crocomire Fight, who's basically drank way too much coffee. The really annoying thing about Crocomire and Duper is you can't stack missile damage in the same round. So like if you hit multiple missiles in the same round, normally Crocomire will move back the number of steps according to the number of missiles you shot. But in this, he'll only take one step back from missiles per round. Supers will still take 3, but you can't like fire multiple missiles to stack them, and that makes that fight really annoying. Lucky that I have a high super count right now. I can't always afford to use that many supers on this fight. Why was that shot so slow? Okay, so I'm going to charge the spark up here, and I'm going to jump down to where grapple is and try to keep this spark so that I can launch all the way back up. So we're basically going to try to have this kind of shine spark utility throughout the whole run.
Shine sparking doesn't use your energy at all.
No. Oh, that sucks. I was supposed to go around that ledge. Because of speed keep being an attack, you can also charge your shine sparks in kind of like a piecewise way, where as long as you hit the ground without doing something that takes away your speed keep, like angling, as long as you hit the ground cleanly, all the running that you did from your earlier jumps count towards your shine spark charge. So we're doing basically all the upper Norfair cleanup right now. We're about to get Spring Ball, which in Project Base means that you can actually speed boost as a ball. And new to this version, you can even do ball sparks, which I'm going to speed boost as a ball here to get through these blocks. I'm not going to do an actual ball spark here because they're actually a bit slower and have a bit less utility, like you can't cancel them. But there's a couple uses for ball sparks later in the run. This run's tough though, because like basically if you breathe the wrong way when you have a shine spark stored, it'll go off in the wrong direction. Oh, there's also a there's another cool mechanic of Speed Booster in this. You can actually run on the surface of lava with Speed Booster. There we go. I'm gonna try to land out of the spark in a way that I can restore it. Oh my god, I actually did it. I wasn't expecting it to get that. That one's really hard. Save state practicing that one actually literally hurt my eyes because of how fast the screen moves. Okay, now we're passing through this juncture again. But now we're heading towards Brinstar cleanup, and one of the reasons to get wreck ship done before doing this part of Brinstar is also because the entrance to the pirate ship is going to be on this path, and we want to have that unlocked and be able to fully clear it by the time we go this way. This item is kind of tough to get. It's precise to get in the ceiling like this. You can also instant detonate your bombs in this if you hold down while laying them. It's pretty neat. Nice. Okay. Okay, so the pirate ship, Plasma's here, and the one other power bomb that was in wreck ship. And hopefully we can get all these enemies down quickly. The movement in here is really nuts if you do it properly. Okay, that was good. That's really hard to do well. I was supposed to get a Shrine Spark there. That one's tough to coordinate though. Supposed to launch you towards the door. Okay, so now we've got this whole big Brinstar cleanup. I think by the time we get out of here, we'll have every single item from Brinstar. Some of the movement in this game is tricky because in Project Base, morphing actually like pushes you down. What happens in vanilla is when you unmorph, in vanilla, it resets your fall speed, so you can kind of use that to slow your descent and manipulate your movement in some places. But it's unintuitive for Project Base because it actually pushes you downward when you do that, so it hurts you rather than helps you. So there's a lot of falls that I'm like, oh, I can save myself if I just unmorph, and it doesn't work here. So the way that this hack got released is pretty interesting. So Dalton was originally making this hack by himself back in 2017, and then real life circumstances, I think, changed for him, and he basically couldn't really continue working on it. So in the middle of last year, he posted the unfinished hack on Metroid construction forums for people to check out, since he was pretty much probably not going to finish it. And Metaquarius took it upon himself to actually finish it. So there were unfinished parts of Norfair and Turian, and back then the project-based version that Dalton was using, that was out at the time, was 0.7, which didn't have this crazy it didn't have the crazy Shrine Spark cancels like I'm using this run. So Meta did a lot to make the release of this hack actually possible. If you're not familiar with Metaquarius, he's basically a Super Metroid hacking genius. He does lots of custom bosses, custom code, custom music, a lot of stuff that's very technically difficult to do in Super Metroid. He's the one who made Z Factor, which doesn't have a lot of custom stuff, but the Y Faster series of speedrun themed hacks that he made does.
What is love? That's all I'll say.
I forgot about that. I was like trying to understand what the reference was, but now I get it. Yeah, it has something to do with Y Faster. But yeah.
And also, Y Faster 2 is in two parts. There's Y Faster 2 Fast and Y Faster 2 Furious. I'm not making this up.
The Meta is probably best known for working on Super Metroid X Fusion, which is going to hopefully be released someday, maybe. But it's like one of the most ambitious Super Metroid hacking projects to ever exist. It's basically going to be a remake of Fusion in a Super Metroid ROM. Like, it's gonna have all the Super Metroid mechanics, but it's gonna look like Fusion playing on a SNES.
And from what you were telling me the other day about X Fusion, it's taking what Super Zero Mission did, but taking it to a whole nother level with Fusion.
Yeah, basically. Like Super Zero Mission, like you can obviously tell it's Super Metroid, but you can tell it's a ROM hack with some of the quality of things that the way they did things. But with X Fusion, it's going to be a much higher polish. So we've got a crate fight, and this is how the quick kill works in Project Base. You still have to get the timing right to freeze the mouth open, but you have to get most of the shots done while he's rising. So that was just a reserve tank from Crate so far. But the actual prize that is locked by a crate door that we'll be getting pretty soon is Wave Beam. It's actually not terribly close to here.
It's a bit out of the way, but basically, hopefully, usually you would come across that room and see the locked door, and then you'd remember it after beating Kraid. Oh, I'll check that out.
Yeah, locked doors in this room. Did that really... Oh, great. The power bomb just, like, didn't break that block. And it was off camera, so I couldn't see it when I was sparking. That's still a game.
Oh, one thing I noticed is that Duper gives you 49 energy per E-Tank.
Oh yeah, I never mentioned that. Yeah, most of the E-Tanks are only worth 50. The ones that are in Chozu balls are worth 100. So it's pulling a common ROM hack trick where there's actually like 3 different versions of every item, depending on whether it's in a Chozu ball or in plain sight or in hidden in Z area. Okay, so I want to make sure it's a bit awkward to get a charge here, but I want to make sure I have it for this room to get across it because the underwater floor there is very awkward and has a lot of like stuff you can trip over. I want to make sure I have one for the way back too. Forgot what room that is in. There we go. I almost missed the super because I thought this was a different room. So just a bit more cleanup here before we go back to our fair. I'm supposed to open the door first. Okay, I'm glad I got that one. That was kind of precise. There's a weird ball spark strat here that maybe I'll have time to get. Yep, okay, wow. That's actually really hard. I think that was the first ball spark of the run. Now we're getting a spacer, which I immediately have to turn off. Sadly, I don't have charge beam for spore spawn in this route. It's a little faster to get charge beam with speed booster and spring ball, so we don't get it earlier. But it can still 2-round pretty easily. I'm gonna grab X-ray, which we're never going to use. You kind of have to do a blind jump here with the speedrun strat because you go too fast for the camera to follow you. Okay, that's it for the Brinstar cleanup. So, and we're power bombing from up there because it actually can reach the power bomb door here from way up there. So we don't have to wait on it. Oh wow, I actually got that spark out on the way back. The stream's kind of brutal from down here because there's so much stuff to bump into. Okay, now we're gonna get charge beam. So you can actually peek this charge beam from the other side of the wall, but you're supposed to get to it from this hidden tunnel in this room. It's a like background trick that a few ROM hacks pull. So I was familiar enough with it to spot it. But a lot of people seeing charge from the other side are not sure how to get to it. It's like a common problem I've seen with casual players of this. Okay, so back into Lower Norfair. And I just charged another spark as a ball, so I can use it in this room. So yeah, still no Varia suit. And we're going to finish Lower Norfair like this. Oh my goodness, if I could get out of the lava. So there's a really good shortcut you can do here with the ball spark. Ball spark requires spring ball. You have to like know to do it there based on clues you find exploring elsewhere in the game. So we don't actually enter Lower Norfair by like the main elevator that we're supposed to. Just enter it through that. Gets an E-tank. And there's a really handy ammo station we can use to refill our ammo here. So I finally do have full beam combo with charge beam, but I have so many supers that I'm just going to use them all on Ridley here, and so I don't really need them for anything at this point. That's really unlucky. Did a swoop right before he was gonna die, and you can't interrupt the swoop. Okay, so that is the actual prize for Ridley, is Screw Tech. It's gonna look weird here to some people probably that I'm getting Varia out of this right now, because it looks like it's supposed to be behind Ridley, but we're actually backdooring it here. So here's Gold Chorizo. This is how you're supposed to get Varia. By going through Golden Chorizo. Now this does still seem kind of confusing because obviously it's heated here. So it's like, what the heck are you supposed to do? Well, you're actually supposed to go through Meridia. The glass tube in Meridia actually connects to this part of Norfair. And it does a really cool thing where if you break it before coming to this area is flooded. There's no heat, it's all full of water, and it looks like a different biome, basically. Which is a really cool touch. I really wanted this short charge. That's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to break said tube from this side since I'm backdooring. Or not. Okay, so I actually kind of messed that up. I was supposed to wait for the tube to break before going through the door. So if I had done that properly and the tube broke, this area would actually look like a Meridia area. But now you get to see it looking like that, I suppose. Oh, I actually could have used that opportunity to show it off quickly by just like running back in the room, but I didn't think of it in time. Oh, so easy to miss fire shine sparks in this game. Normally, it's in vanilla. It's easy to do accidental shine sparks upward because those go off automatically when you hit up in your wind up, or your wind up starts automatically by hitting up. So those are the easiest ones to do by accident. But in Project Base, the up shine sparks are the only ones that actually require hitting the jump button. Actually, the diagonals do too, I think. But the horizontal ones don't. Also, kick snail. Actually, backdooring these supers, kind of. There's a passage to get them from behind Dragon, but it's actually faster to get them this way because when we kill Dragon, we actually want to leave that her room out through the front. And since we have X-ray, Charge Beam, and Plasma pierces enemies, we're going to be able to do the Microwave Dragon kill that everyone knows from Randomizer and such. Oh, whoops. I didn't count properly, I guess. I really didn't count properly, wow. Also known as the Yellow Devil Mark 1 trick. Yeah, so let's pretty much just clean up for the rest of the game. Not too many like specific things going on. So this hack is actually pretty reminiscent of Hyper Metroid from back in 2015. Which is probably the main other like full game hack that was made with Project Base. It was made at version 0.6, which is a really old version at this point. I want to make sure I get a spark here so I can use it to launch in air, because I have nothing but air to work with there. Oh, am I gonna actually get to do something with this spark? Oh yeah, let's go. I usually don't get that. That's kind of hard. It's really easy to bonk your head against that too, because the spot that spits out is like not level with your head. You have to dip down a little bit. I was trying to get a spark to go horizontally here, but okay, that accidentally crouched just made me waste my shine spark, and then I wasted that one because the enemy decided to bonk me into a state where pressing oh, here's the boss spark required for this E-tank. That's the last one. This is actually the first super that you're like intended to get. And I'm getting it as almost the last one. So it's pretty deep in Maria. Like there's a few that you can get, but they're kind of, the other ones are kind of hidden. This is one the game like eventually points you towards. And now this is the backdoor ice beam gate that I went through at the very beginning of the run. There's one more item to get in Meridia though. There's one more reserve tank. Up here, you can actually see it from the room where the first or the second super rig is. Okay, that is Meridia cleanup. So we're pretty much almost on the way to Turian. So I need to call the cave, save or kill, Bidwar, actually before entering Turian. Which is gonna be in like 2 or 3 minutes.
Alright, just tell me when to check it. So, you heard the man, people? Let's get cracking. Save the Animals, still in the lead. If anyone's waiting to be a sniperino, now's the time. Last call on donations for Save or Kill the Animals.
Just like 3 more items to get. So this room's pretty interesting puzzle. So I just released Jemer that was hiding inside a crumble block at the top of the room. And this is, I think this green gate is not a fake. Yeah, it's not a fake green gate, but it's not the actual solution to the puzzle. There's a super block under it you're supposed to hit. So this Jemer actually breaks these enemy breakable blocks for you. It's a common trick that hacks pull. Just to use enemy breakable blocks. Normally, the only place that those types of blocks are in vanilla is Shaxful's room. But basically, any enemy can break those blocks. Any enemy that has collision as walls. So hacks tend to use them for those kinds of puzzles. The unfortunate thing about those types of puzzles is you can't reveal the block type with anything. But yeah, that is all the items, and I actually know for sure it's all the items because I have the Brando HUD. So it's 175, 50, 50, 175 missiles. There's 25 total E-tanks as pickups instead of 14 because most of them are worth half. Okay, so after I go down the elevator, we're gonna call it. Alright, what's gonna be?
Final refresh. Ladies and gentlemen, to my absolute surprise, Kill the Animals is still in second place, so we're gonna save them.
Alright. Okay, that room sort of went okay. Metroid rooms are ridiculously hard. This one in particular is really obnoxious because it's interspersed with Metroids, which can die to your beams. You don't like really want to use your ammo on them necessarily. It's kind of hard to juggle like the two different types of enemies and all your weapon switching. And we've got Mother Brain over here, but it's actually a Nestroid style Mother Brain. So there's no fight at the end. So this game's pretty short, 2 minutes. You don't get Hyper Beam for it, which is like the big thing that you have to be careful of, the enemies. Whenever like people ask the question about like, are there animals in the hack? Like, where are they? Pretty much the rule of thumb is if they're in the hack, they're probably where they are in the vanilla game, and that's Bomb Terizo's room. So also that's also a hint if you're like playing a hack and you're looking for them. Generally in here, we got a nice blue Decora in Project Base. Also, the fact that I turned off screen shaking at the start of the run is making a lot of lag save here. And time's coming up like right now. Time.
Amazing.
Oh, what was the time?
58:17.
Yo. That's pretty good.
GG, Azder.
It's like 40, it's like 30 seconds. Yeah, it's like 30 seconds off of current world record. I beat my record by like 4 seconds yesterday. It's not a great run, so there's a lot more to go.
So you would have been that much closer if you got the no damage intro, basically.
Yeah, I was thinking of resetting for that, like trying it a second time, but I thought that if Save the Animals didn't win, I might be able to like snag world record in the marathon, possibly. So I decided to not waste too much time on that.
Well, that was a run. And what a run was it. Holy crap. Thinking that I beat this game twice so far. And I was doing it completely backwards because I was playing in mirror mode. Azder made that joke the other day, and I only caught on it today when he explained to me the joke that he made, and I'm like, all right, I'm slow.
Oh yeah, I totally never mentioned this. There is a built-in mirror mode for this game that you can play, and it has one crazy thing, application for low percent, and that's that it allows a certain gate glitch because
It's flipped the other way around. So now it's a gate that wouldn't be possible otherwise.
Yeah, except normally you can only glitch the ones that are on with the button on the left side. In the normal way of doing it because of like subpixel rounding or something. So mirror mode actually flips games that a certain gate we need to glitch to skip grapples on the left side. Other than that, it's like just kind of a trippy experience if you're used to playing it regularly. There's also a built-in randomizer for the game. That's the other really cool thing. I think it's no logic, but it's got you know FFFF seeds, 65,000 seeds. It's a pretty fun romp around with how open hack is.
Yeah, one thing that I remember when I was playing mirror mode the other day is I was able to get into a wrecked ship without having to go to the super switch that's at the top there. Also, let's do the thing. Dear Force! Shoutouts to D-Man, apparently who helped on this ROM hack as well.
Oh yeah, I think he did a lot of the beta testing. I think this was like back when Dalton was originally working on it, like before Meta, long before Meta touched it.
Yep. Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, we have it! We have it! Azder did it! 100%! Oh my god!
Yeah, I actually got 100% run on this channel. I had to cheat to do it because I had to have the HUD telling me how many max items I had, but finally did it.
GG anyways.
All right, thank you so much for having me again. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure's always all ours. Trust me. It's when I saw every time I see your name in the submission, I was like, oh, geez, what ROM hack is he submitting next? You know, so I'm always excited and very, very happy and honored to have you with us so often. And also, it's a different ROM hack every time, keeps things fresh while, you know, allowing us to keep our mission, really, our unspoken mission of having one Super Metroid run per marathon. And yeah, and you know, some people would say that, you know, it's because of me and because I'm completely biased because I'm a huge fan of Super Metroid, and they would be absolutely right. So, yeah, there you have it. But it's always such a treat having you, and to see because here's the thing, there are many hacks out there. Some of them use vanilla physics, some of them use project-based, some of them don't. Some of them have different assembly patches, which makes the package for the Metroid ROM hack different from one ROM hack to the other. So going from this to, let's say, redesign, the physics are completely different, the feature sets are completely different, and to see you master all of them independently and just being able to kind of jump from one to the other and everything, it's amazing. So I just want to give you the props you deserve, because this is completely mind-blowing, the range of skills you're displaying with all the ROM hacks you've done at NoReset.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoy like what a lot of the different hacks to bring to the table, and I enjoyed routing a lot of different ones, showing people different experiences too. So that's why I do it.
Well, once again, thank you so much for being with us. I guess that's a pretty good note to end this on, because Lyra, what do we have coming up next?
So coming up next, we have the Super Hot VR run with David TKI, and Ziggy GG will be hosting that one.
All right. Well, thank you, Azder. Thank you, Lyra. As always a pleasure working with you and having you on the stream, and everyone. So you heard it. Coming up next, Super Hot VR, our very first non-rhythm game, because we had Beat Saber before, but our very first VR game on NoReset. Any percent with David TKI on PC. That game makes you feel like you're Neo from the freaking Matrix. Like, literally, I've played it. It's my favorite VR game. It is fantastic. If you have access to a VR headset, do yourself a favor and play this game. But nonetheless, I'm really curious to see, because the movement, like you're flaying your arms around like an inflatable wacky tube man, and you really, I can't wait to see what David has in store for us with this game. So we're gonna get that set up, and stay tuned. We'll be right back.